Welcome to the Life Sciences Graduate School Fair Prep event. Thank you all for joining. We'll get started in just a minute here. All right, it's 1:02, so we'll get started. Thank you again for joining. This is the CBS Life Sciences Graduate School Fair Prep event. So I am Casey Johnson. I use she, her pronouns, and I work at the University of Minnesota College of Biological Sciences as a part of the Student Services Career Team. I'm the fair organizer for the Life Sciences Graduate School Fair. Wanted to share with you that one of my favorite new COVID hobbies has been playing backgammon. So that's what I'm enjoying while I'm spending more time at home. And I'll let my colleague Mary Shannon introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Mary Shannon Bopak. I go by Mary Shannon. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I'm a career coach in CBS Student Services, and I'm here today just to support Casey as she talks through the Life Sciences Grad Fair in case you all have questions for a career coach. And I included a picture. I went hiking at Banning State Park this summer and asked my sister to take my picture in front of the waterfall, and she took me very literally.
Perfect. So today we're going to go over a few different things. We'll go through what the CBS Life Sciences Graduate School Fair is and what you can expect from that virtual event, how to navigate a virtual fair, what it looks like. And then we'll also talk about how you can prepare for the fair and what really makes up, what makes up a meeting with a graduate school representative, how you can introduce yourself and how you can prepare for that meeting. We hope that you'll leave this event feeling confident in your knowledge of Career Fair Plus, the Life Sciences Grad Fair, and knowing what you'll need to do to prepare. If you have any questions throughout the event, feel free to put them in the chat or in the Q&A box, and we'll get to them throughout the event. So first of all, what is the CBS Life Sciences Grad Fair? We have 33 graduate programs that are attending the fair to tell students about their master and PhD programs in the life sciences. These programs have a wide range of areas of study, including the ones on the list on this slide. Why would you want to attend this fair? It can help you connect with graduate program faculty members, admission representatives, or even current graduate students. A lot of the fairs have graduate students as their representatives at the fair too. You can learn about different programs and if they align with your interests. This fair is also a great opportunity to explore different programs, their requirements, and their curriculum, and maybe even what their current research is. And you can hear what it means to be a competitive applicant at each of those different programs. If you aren't sure what you might want to study or where, you can meet with multiple different schools. That's a huge benefit of this fair. And if you have it narrowed down to a few schools, you have kind of an idea of what you're looking for. This fair is also a great opportunity to ask specific questions of that program and that representative in a one-on-one setting. So what is a virtual fair? That's something that's new this year. And what does that mean? So I started to mention that you'll be meeting one-on-one with representatives, and that's what this virtual fair is. It's scheduling one-on-one appointments with graduate school fair representatives, and you'll be in a video room. So this is what the video looks like. Of course, this is the same person in one room, but this is one of the Career Fair Plus representatives just doing a demo. So we're using the system Career Fair Plus for our virtual fair system, and this is what that virtual room will look like. And I'll go into a little bit more about what Career Fair Plus is. So Career Fair Plus is an app and a website. So this is what the app looks like and what it looks like in the Apple App Store. It's also in the Google Play Store, but a good place to start is by downloading the Career Fair Plus app. This is what it looks like to kind of click through the Career Fair Plus app and make an appointment. So I will play this. So when you first log in, you'll select student/candidate, and then you'll search for the University of Minnesota. From there, you'll see all the U of M fairs, and you'll click the CBS Life Sciences Graduate School Fair. You can click grad schools at the bottom there, and you'll see a list of the different grad schools that are attending our fair. When you click on one school specifically that you're interested in, you can see their different meetings. You can also filter by CBS majors. So you can see majors and minors and decide what you want to see, what schools are interested in that area. Then when you click on the school, you can see their overview, their website, the whole list of majors, and then you can click view meetings. And that's where you can see the different schedules that are available and then create a schedule with a specific recruiter or representative. So we'll go through that a little bit slower. So the first step is selecting that student candidate. So after you have downloaded the app, it'll open up and this is what it'll look like. You'll select student/candidate, and then you'll search the University of Minnesota. This is where you'll see all of the University of Minnesota's different fairs through Career Fair Plus, and you'll select the 2020 CBS Life Sciences Graduate School Fair. This is the landing page. So this just has an overview of the event. And then when you click graduate schools on the bottom here, this is where you'll see the list of the graduate school programs that are attending the fair. You can scroll through this list, you can favorite, you can make notes about different programs as well. So when you click filters up here, this is what it opens up to. And you can select CBS majors, and that's where you can choose the different majors that are of interest to you that you're studying, and you want to see the schools that have also selected those majors as what they're interested in or what aligns with their programs. Once you select into the school, you can see their overview page. That's where you can add some notes. You can favorite that school. You can see their website, so you can look even more into what their program is. And then when you click this view meetings here, that's when you'll see the different schedules, that are available. Depending on the school, some of these, like this example, has the name of the representative that's attending as the name of the schedule. If the schedule is like a student or a faculty member, maybe that title of it will be student meeting. I've seen that on a few of the schools, or it might be a specific area of the program. So depending on what you're looking for, you can choose the schedule that works best. And then when you click into that schedule, that's when you can see the different times, and you can select a time that works for you and book that meeting and confirm it. So this is what the website looks like. So when you follow our Z link, z.umn.edu/life sciences grad fair, this is the website version of it. Again, you can see that there's the filters by major, there's the entire list of the programs that are attending, there's the overview, you can put notes, you can favorite different schools. And if you scroll down a little bit, again, you'd see like the list of CBS majors and minors. So there's kind of two different places that you can see this information, the Career Fair Plus app and the Career Fair Plus website. So when do you use the app versus when do you use the website? The Career Fair Plus website, you can explore programs, you can take notes and favorite the grad schools, you can schedule meetings, and then on the day of the fair, you can join your meetings, your video meetings. You'll also get push notifications. So if you have the app and you have your push notifications turned on for the app, any information that I need to send out, I can do that through push notifications. So if for some reason something changes the day of the fair, if a grad school isn't able to make it, I can send out that notification through the app. The Career Fair Plus website, you can explore programs. Again, you can take notes and favorite grad schools, and you can join meetings. So the day of the fair, you can join your video meeting through the web version as well. The big difference between these two is scheduling the meetings. So when you need to schedule a meeting, you have to do that through the Career Fair Plus app. You can't do that on the website. So this is this is a video from Career Fair Plus that has a nice overview of what it looks like the day of the fair. So I'm going to make sure I'll just show you just about halfway through this
about my
video.
major, GPA.
This is going to show us what it looks like when you join the meeting through the app on the day of the fair.
And upload a resume. After I book my appointment, I see some additional instructions appear. This lets me know how I will get in touch with the recruiter during my scheduled time. As you can see here, it's telling me to join the Career Fair Plus video chat by tapping the link. At the time of my appointment, I just tap the link and I'll be brought to the video chat. I first need to select that I want to use video, and then I'll be given the chance to preview what I look like before knocking to request to be admitted to the meeting room. When the recruiter receives a knock request, they can see a preview of my camera and decide either to let me in or respond by putting me on hold, which lets me know they'll get to me shortly. If the recruiter accepts my knock, I'll be led into the meeting room for my appointment. After we're done talking, all I need to do is tap the leave button and I'm done.
So that's just a quick overview of what it looks like when you join the meeting from the app. So as a reminder, you'll select that you want to join with video, you get a preview of your image, and then you knock to enter the room. That's something that is unique about Career Fair Plus, is that the representatives are staying in the same room throughout the fair, and you are going to their different virtual rooms. So you need to knock to enter, and they will let you in as they're finishing up their meeting with their last candidate and student. So ways that you can prepare for the fair and get ready with Career Fair Plus. So the first step is downloading the Career Fair Plus app. Again, you can do that in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. You'll create your account and your profile when you schedule those meetings. You'll want to research programs, see which ones you're most interested in, and then you can start signing up for appointments. Those appointments are open now, and you can sign up for the programs that you're most interested in. I recommend doing that as soon as possible to make sure that you get to meet with the programs that you're interested in. Once you have your schedule set up and you've signed up for your appointments, there's a few other things you'll want to do just to make sure that you're ready for the fair. You'll want to know your schedule. So if that means you need to create calendar reminders, you should do that. You'll want to join the appointments the day of the fair. So again, you can either do that through the app or through the website. And then introducing yourself to the representative, preparing for that, and asking questions if you'll want to ask the graduate school different questions to see if it's of interest to you. And we'll go through that in a little bit to go over how you can introduce yourself and how you can ask questions to get the most out of your meetings. So some common questions that we've gotten about Career Fair Plus. Can I schedule appointments back to back? You can't schedule appointments back to back, but you can use that time in between appointments to take notes, to write a thank you note, and prepare for your next meeting. So most of the meetings in Career Fair Plus, those one-on-one meetings, are 10-minute meetings. So that means in between your two meetings, you'll have about 10 minutes to prepare for your next meeting, to take notes on what you just discussed, and even write a quick thank you note to the representative that you just met with. Why can't I see a graduate school's appointments? So maybe you've logged into the Career Fair Plus app, started to make a schedule, or sign up for an appointment, look at a schedule, but it says there's no meeting scheduled for this fair. That would be because the graduate school representative hasn't finalized their schedule. So if that happens, please let us know and we'll send them a reminder to finalize their schedule so that you can get signed up. Where do I go the day of the fair? You go to the Career Fair Plus app or z.umn.edu/lifesciencesgradfair. Do I have to be online the whole fair? The graduate school fair is scheduled from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Tuesday, September 22nd. And no, you don't. You only need to be online during your scheduled appointments. What if I don't sign up for appointments ahead of time? You can drop into the fair like you would in an in-person fair by going to the app and signing up for those appointments the day of the fair. So you can sign up for appointments up to the minute before the appointment begins. So you can do that the day of the fair. Great. So when you get to the fair and you get into those appointments, one of the common ways that recruiters or representatives or even a graduate student might start a conversation is by asking you to tell me about yourself. So what do you say to that? It's kind of a big question, right? So the way that we have broken this down is by doing the past, present, future model. So the present is kind of explaining where you're at right now briefly. The past, a little bit about the experience that you've had and the skills that you've gained, and then the future, why you're really excited about this opportunity, this school, what makes you interested in this specific graduate school program. So here's my example of what my past, present, future introduction is. My name is Casey Johnson. I'm an employer engagement coordinator at the College of Biological Sciences at the University of Minnesota. I work as part of the career services team managing campus engagement for employers and graduate programs. Previously, I worked as a scientific recruiter. My degree in chemistry and my experience as a recruiter gave me a unique experience in my current role. This is my first time organizing a virtual fair, and I'm excited to learn about how I can support students and graduate school representatives in preparing for a virtual fair. It's really helpful to write down some of the ideas that you have for each section, for the present, past, and the future. Practice saying it out loud. Sometimes you might have to adjust the language or the way that you're saying a phrase until it feels right, until it feels natural. And as you practice, you'll learn those key points that you want to touch in each of those sections so that when you meet with the representative, you'll be ready with your introduction. Another part of meeting with the graduate school representative is asking questions. So when you think about what questions you're going to ask, there's a few different areas that might help you think of questions. Think about why you're interested in this program and what information are you looking for to decide if this program really aligns with your interests. What's the focus of their program and how does that align with what you're interested in, what you'd like to be focused on? Maybe what are the program requirements? If you're trying to prepare to apply for graduate school, it's really important to know what they're looking for and what's required of their applicants. What are they looking for in a competitive applicant? Again, if you're preparing to apply, you want to know what experiences really stand out in their application process. What are the funding opportunities for graduate students? And then consider who you're meeting with. Like I mentioned, some of those programs have students, some have faculty members, some have admissions people as their representatives. So think about who you're meeting with, and then you can change your questions based on that person's experiences. So we just covered a lot of information about the fair. So this is really a quick checklist to go over how you can prepare for the fair. So the first would be to download the Career Fair Plus app and then schedule your appointments. And once you have those appointments scheduled, create a calendar reminder for yourself. You can test your technology logging onto the app ahead of time. You can test your camera and your audio, and then practice your introduction and bring questions. And then the day of the fair, you could just get to join the fair through Career Fair Plus app during your scheduled appointments time, or you can join at z.umn.edu/lifesciencesgradfair. So the fair is Tuesday, September 22nd. You can sign up for appointments now in the Career Fair Plus app. Please let me know if you have any questions. It looks like we don't have any questions that have come through just yet. But remember, you can put that in the chat or you can put it in the Q&A function in Zoom too. I will go over while you're thinking about questions. Um, Here are some additional resources. So if you are looking for one-on-one support, preparing for the fair, if you want to have your resume reviewed or practice your pitch individually after you have gone through your present, past, and future model, you can schedule a meeting with a CBS career coach, and I have the link up there. And then the day of the fair, if you're having any technical issues, like you're not able to get into Career Fair Plus, I'll be hanging out in the Zoom room and helping with technical support. So that Zoom link is z.umn.edu/virtual fair help. So here's a question. If I don't have a current resume made, would that be beneficial to create one over the weekend? Let's see, Mary Shannon, do you have any advice about resumes and graduate schools?
Yeah, I think a resume is never hurtful to have, especially when you're doing a meet and greet type of situation like this. But I think if you're going in, if you don't have time to create your resume and you're going into the meeting with a set kind of present, past, future model where you can talk about yourself and you know the types of experiences you've had and you know what types of questions you want to ask, you probably won't need a resume for this type of setting.
Great. Is this fair a good opportunity to ask specific questions about programs, or will the representatives not have specific knowledge about some programs? I think that from the programs that I have seen, I would say it probably varies a little bit. Some of the programs that have signed up are general graduate schools for that university, and some of them are really specific, like interdisciplinary biology's program. There can be some representatives that are there to represent a very specific program and they have that knowledge. But there will also be representatives that are there for the graduate school. And the way that you can kind of see which one is which is you can look at the overview of the program in the Career Fair Plus app. You can read through their overview and see what they mention. And if they're talking about general graduate school and multiple different programs, that will give you a better idea that they're maybe talking, they might not have the specifics, or if they're talking about a really specific program. And I would also add that the people that are there representing multiple different programs and maybe more general, they'll be able to point you in the right direction. So you can still ask them those questions. If they don't have the answer, they'll be able to give you a contact, or they'll work on following up with you, so you can still ask those specific program questions. What is better to give, my resume or my CV to graduate school representatives? What do you think, Mary Shannon?
I think either one is okay. At this point in your undergraduate education, your resume and your CV probably look really similar. The major difference between them is a CV is kind of your history from when you started to where you are now, and you typically see those more once you're a graduate student and working full-time. And a resume is always kind of curated into the most relevant things that you're doing right now. So I would imagine as an undergraduate student, what you have done up until this point and the relevant things are the same.
Great. Any other questions? This is the information that we have prepared to share, but we're here to answer your questions. So please let us know how we can help. Would it be a good idea to have a transcript on hand for recruiters? I'm not sure, Mary Shannon. What do you think?
I don't think you need a transcript at this
Yeah.
point. I think if you think about the virtual fair is a little bit different because you're meeting one-on-one with recruiters, and I know 10 minutes feels like a long time, but if you have some questions prepared, that's going to go by very quickly. And if you think about what you might talk to a fair representative about if you had just decided randomly to drop into the Great Hall in the Student Center on campus while this was going on, you probably wouldn't have a transcript in hand, so you don't need one for the virtual setting either.
Yeah, that's a great
That's
answer.
a good question.
I would say maybe thinking about some of the classes that you're most interested in would be a great way to prepare and think about what programs you might want to talk to. if you're thinking about what might interest you. Great. Another question came in, should I consider a virtual background? So this is a good question. And it's something that we have thought a lot about with different settings. So the idea with a virtual fair and having kind of a professional looking background or a simple looking background is to have less distractions. But I think in this time, everyone is being really flexible. If you can have a virtual background and you would prefer that over the background that is set up in your apartment, in your dorm, you can absolutely do that. I think that that is a good thing to have. If you can't have a virtual background, like my computer is too old for a virtual background, that is totally okay. Try to find a quiet space where there will be limited distractions. If you're unable to have that in your own space and you are on campus, we have a list of resources of how you can find interview spaces that are individual and that will have quiet and reliable Wi-Fi. So virtual background is definitely something to think about. It's not required. It's a totally fine thing to have. If you can't have it, people are going to understand that there might be a little bit more of a cluttered background, but do what you can to kind of have a professional setting and with limited distractions. And I will work on finding the kind of the resource that we have and putting that in the chat for the study space finder.
It also went out in the bio brief this week. If anyone still has that email on hand, you can find it listed in there too.
Well, most recruiters want to keep in touch after the fair, and do they connect with attendees after the fair? That's another great question. So when we had recruiters sign up, we asked if it was okay to share their information after the fair. So we have the recruiters who are interested in kind of sharing their contact information after the fair will be able to have that available to students. I'm not sure. I think it probably depends on the program and who you're meeting with. I think that they're probably there to help you throughout your application process, to help answer your questions. If you're meeting with a faculty member, they might be a great resource to keep in touch with. Same with a student. If you meet with a student and have a great conversation with them and want to keep in touch and are really interested in that program, you can absolutely do that. I would recommend sending a thank you note when you have, or a quick thank you email when you have had a conversation with someone. It probably depends on the specific recruiter if they are going to reach out to you after the fair, but their role is to really help you through the process of getting into their graduate program too and applying for that program. So if you have questions that you want to follow up with them after the fair, you can absolutely do that. And thank you emails, I would say they are just as appropriate as thank you cards. Mm-hmm. Great. I am going to link the study space finder in the chat for everyone. Oh yeah, there we go. Great, any other questions? We'll have this recorded session on our website shortly too. So if you want to refer back to it, if it's, someone missed it, you can send it to our website. We are available the rest of the time, but we'll plan to stay on for about 8 more minutes. And if we don't see any more questions come through the chat, we'll sign off. So if you have anything else, please feel free to put it in the chat and put it in the Q&A, and we are here to help.